Hello again, Doran Markowitz here from D Guitars Miami with another edition of This Week in Custom Crafted Cool Guitars. This week's particular featured instrument is the second of three instruments that I am building currently for a client in Michigan. The first one being the Millennium Falcon guitar that you saw in the previous video. This one is a Dungeons & Dragons box guitar that I built out of a real, original 1985 Dungeons & Dragons Master Rules box. The client really wanted to have this built for a friend that's really into D&D and a guitar player. Now, his friend plays Gibson-style guitars, SGs, Les Pauls, that sort of thing. So it had to be Gibson spec. So I used a neck that's 24 3/4 inch scale, and I featured Kluson-style tuners on the headstock, which I think were very appropriate. And I adorned the whole thing with elements from Dungeons & Dragons. You can see on the headstock that I used a couple of the card stock that you have, from these kinds of cards, little round things that you put on the board, and I inlaid them in the headstock. I also adorned a custom truss rod cover with one of the headers from one of the cards, and I incorporated a couple of the knobs, a couple of the more ornately designed knobs, the Celtic style, as the volume and tone knobs. Okay, the dice, sorry. I incorporated a couple of really cool dice for the volume and tone knobs. I used 500K alpha pots for the volume and tone, and a three-way box switch. I had to use smaller components because the cavity that I routed was fairly narrow. I also wanted to make sure that I retained as much of the picture on the front as possible. That's why you'll notice that the humbucker covers that I used and the mounting rings actually have the box portion that I cut out glued on top. And then what I did was, when it was time to clear coat everything in poly, I made sure to clear coat the covers as well as the truss rod cover and the whole box. Everything it's got about 10 coats of poly on it. You can see here on the neck heel that I used one of the cards as well, and that's where the strap button goes. It balances very well on the strap, and it's fairly light too. It's a 24 3/4 inch scale, 1 11/16 inch nut width, 2 humbuckers, 2 pneumatic bridge, stop bar tailpiece, very much like an SG. It's a square SG basically. The body is about 1.5 inches thick, and on the back of the head you can see the company information as well. D&D, custom D&D guitar, D Guitars Miami, etc. There's a lot of D's on this. The jack is here at the back end, next to the strap button, and again, I tried to make sure that everything was retained as much as possible in the appearance. Tonally, this guitar sounds amazing. Here's your bridge pickup. Nice and loud and full, but not thin. There's the neck pickup. In both. Tone control rolls out beautifully, as does the body. With some distortion, neck pickup. And then if we up the ante a bit with a little bit more hardcore distortion and some flange, tuning stability is excellent, and the intonation is perfect all the way up. And it's got great sustain. As you can clearly hear, this is a very fun guitar to play. I know that his friend is going to really be pleased with this because I put everything into it. I tried to use as much of the extra accessories that he sent me with the box without it getting to look too gaudy. The last thing I wanted to do was like over inlay anything. I wanted to just put enough in the most important areas so that way it would definitely all look correct, but without it being too in your face. I don't know about you, but I love the knobs especially. Another side note, the way I put the knobs, I put it so that the 10 on each knob is directly on the top from the dice. And when you have it turned all the way to 10, the 10 is actually looking directly out. So when you roll it off, it's, you know, cockeyed, but when you turn it all the way up, 10, 10. See that? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so until next time, next video you'll see will be the third guitar in the series. If you think this one is cool, wait until you see the Marvel Comics cigar box guitar. That's going to be really, really neat. Alright, so until next time, if you have a project idea in mind that you would like to see built, such as a board game guitar, cereal box guitar, Millennium Falcon guitar, or even one of my red specials, or another custom project, or if you have any repairs that need done, such as broken headstock to be repaired, fret work, finish touch-ups, electronics work, you name it, don't hesitate to give me a call at 305-896-1811. Until next time, Doran Markowitz from D Guitars Miami, thanks for watching and have a great day.